Oh, we were absolutely fucking crazy. But if you're in honeymoon stage, we were fucked up. Like, I just...
It's because I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean?
There's no contrast like a couple that's been dating 2 years and a couple that's in honeymoon stage.
Chemical X.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chemical X podcast. It's your girl, Veronica.
And your other girl, Alessia.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment down below. Leave us a little like. And follow us on Instagram, the Chemical X podcast.
That's new. We don't normally say that.
I don't know. Now I'm like, is that even our handle?
It's so funny. But before we even started, I was watching an old episode of ours. And, you know, I was like, why did we never introduce ourselves? 100%. We just started and we're like, we hate our boyfriends and this is going on in our lives. Like, who are we?
We didn't even say hi, I'm Veronica, hi, I'm Alessia. Like
we just went straight into it. It's like, what
raw
the fuck?
dogged it.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's good we started introducing ourselves because people, well, I mean, even if we're introducing ourselves, people still think your name is Alessandra. If you know how many people come to me in the club and say, oh my God, I love you and Alessandra. And I'm like, Alessia. And they're like, yes, Alexia. And I'm like, yeah.
No. This
and like, she makes every beginning of episode, she has a whole monologue about her name.
Yes.
And you still can't get it right.
They still can't get it right.
So guys, if you come up to me in the club and you pull some shit like Alexia, Alessandra, Alejandra,
it's just call me Alessia
well,
at this
you know
point.
What? You
I
did
realized
it
that
yourself.
I really tried to incorporate my middle name into my name and it's just not working. If anything, it's just butchering my entire like image. So you know what? Just stick to Alessia. It should be simple enough. I'm going to be called Alexia after this. Watch.
100%.
You never win.
You never win. No matter what you do, we're always losing.
We're
on
always
the Chemical
losing.
X podcast. I'm tongue twisted today.
Oh, we are both.
Just so you know, I have a funny story to tell you that I forgot to tell you in the last episode. And thank God we have another episode coming up every week.
Look at that. And if you forget this week, guess what?
Postpone it till next week. Always content coming in. So I like to act like I'm not crazy on this podcast. And like,
absolutely.
I would say we
and
have
you know
our
what?
branding.
It doesn't work for me because I just look more crazy.
100%.
And you just look more normal.
Well, I think we each have our brandings and it's like, I'm the like, do the right thing and you're the like toxic, which I feel like is the more relatable one. I'm like that. But it's like, you got to have a balance, right?
Right.
But every once in a while, guys, I join Team Toxic and, you know, I give a little visit.
You join Team Alexiana.
Alexiana. Alexiana. That sounds like a country music star. So I joined Team Toxic this week.
What did you do?
So me and my boyfriend were like cuddling in bed. It was like such a good time. He was massaging my back. We were just chilling. And I was like, you know, in those moments when like everything's so good, you're like, babe,
let's stir the pot.
What'd you just say?
Let's stir the pot.
Oh no, mine was like, why do we ever fight?
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like it's one of those. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe last week we were like shouting at each other. Like I can't believe last week you threw a brick at me. You're like, wait, what? A brick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a blissful moment.
Right.
So my boyfriend readjusts himself and he like, I don't know why he did this, but he like was fixing his pants and he like put his hand in his pocket and pulled out an elastic. Okay. And just like put it on the bed. And I was like, don't think you're going to pull out a woman's elastic and just place it beside me. So naturally, what did I do? I picked up the elastic and I said, what's that? So I don't know. It's your elastic.
Were you checking for like traces of hair?
Checking for
anything. Just to make sure it wasn't blonde.
100%. So I'm like, why do you have an elastic in your pocket? He's like, I don't know. Like, I probably just picked it up while I was cleaning.
And when you accuse someone when they're not ready to be accused and they have nothing to hide,
like,
it's
babe,
like
we're having a good time.
Anything they say is going to sound like they're guilty.
So I'm like, why do you have an elastic? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I probably put it like it's yours. He's telling me it's mine. So I pick up the elastic and I start investigating. I'm like, this isn't mine. He's like, it looks like every other elastic you have. I'm like, no, I know this one isn't mine because it has rips in particular places. And none of my 4 elastics that I have right now have rips in those places.
You're one of those.
And he was like, no. He's like, this is your elastic. I'm like, this is not my elastic. Guys, we get into a huge fight over the elastic that I said.
At this point, is he still massaging you?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I said, babe, it's fine that you have an elastic. I just want to know whose it belongs to. And he's fighting for his life here. But there's,
Yeah.
like you said, there's nothing you can say to take the guilt away.
Yeah.
Like, you have another girl's alive. And then he's like, but why would I have another girl's alive? Like, what am I doing when another... I said, I don't know. Maybe she untied her hair, you know, after she blew you. And then you put the elastic in your pocket. You know what I mean?
Women, we can just spiral. It's
How
crazy.
am I supposed to know? And he's like, how do you know specifically where the rips are in your elastic? And girls, tell me if I'm wrong.
I
you
don't,
know.
eh? So
You don't.
Listen, I'm joining team very not toxic because couldn't give a fuck what my elastics have.
Well, I just know like my inventory of elastics, and I knew that one wasn't one of them. I knew like the rips. So I was like, this isn't mine, but it's fine. And then he started blaming on... You got blamed in there. It's probably Alessia's. I probably picked it. It's probably Alessia's. Call Alessia. Call Alessia.
I'm always in the middle of this.
I said, you know what? It's bad you picked Alessia because that's the type of girl who wouldn't even know that it's her elastic. So you know what? You're only picking Alessia because she's not going to be able to tell if that's her elastic. Because like you just said, you don't realize what your elastics look like. Me? I know exactly what my fucking elastic looks like. And then I get mad. I throw it across the room. And then we're fighting. And I'm like, I forgot to check if there's hair. So what do? I walk back up, pick up the elastic, and I start investigating. There was no hair on it.
But Veronica, realistically, you see any color hair, still a problem.
Still a problem.
If there's blonde, you're still mad.
And then like at the end of the day, guys, I know that the elastic came from my house. Like I know that he's not cheating on me and that it's not a girl's elastic. But you still have to check. You have to test the waters. You have to let him know I'm looking out for these things and I know what elastics look like.
I'm
so
just
don't
letting
think.
you know that if I can make a big stink about an elastic, I can make a big
I better
stink.
not find underwears in that pocket.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I remember what those look like. So I made a whole thing, but then it was good. I was
You know
like,
what?
babe,
Even the last, okay, I just sound really fucked up, but even underwear, I could not even be so sure if it's mine because you know I have sleepovers or like a friend will just be like, yeah, here, just take this one or whatever.
could be mine.
I don't even know. Once I literally came here and I was like, Veronica's like, is that my thong? I'm like, I don't know.
Could be.
Could
It's
be.
possible.
So you know what? Elastics, thong, I'm not the right
You have
girl
no
for
inventory
that.
of anything.
Yeah.
So guys, cheer on Alessia, I guess. She'll never know. She's gonna go, is that my bra? A AA cup? Maybe.
You never know. These things are movable, expandable. Sometimes an A, sometimes I'm a double D. You never know.
You never know what you're gonna get.
But we agree with that statement, right? Veronica will buy a bustier, it won't fit her, and then suddenly, like,
Yeah,
they're
it's
like, a
fitting
lot,
you.
like, don't even try, like, it won't fit you. It doesn't fit me. And somehow,
You squeeze those in.
yeah.
Well, you should have told the guy when you did your interview on Zoom, babe, send me any size because I fit in anything. Brown nipples or not.
You can give me a small, you can give me a medium, you can give me a large. I really am. I work with anything.
100%.
He would have
So-
liked that.
He would have liked that.
Whatever's in stock, send.
He'd have been like, amazing. We'll send you all.
So wait, was it my elastic in the end?
Well, I don't know. I was gonna pull it out and let you, investigate, and we could all find out on the show if he's cheating, but clearly you wouldn't know. So
Well, that's my elastic.
doesn't look like that.
Okay.
But basically, I got over the fact that he wasn't cheating on me with the elastic, but like the tension is still there after because I'm accusing you. Like I can't just go back to normal now. Now I have to like be in the decompression mode. Like
Yeah.
babe, like I just don't trust you. And then it's like, well, why don't you try? You know what I mean? Like there's the whole vibe.
Yeah.
But we got over it. It was about an elastic. And today I got over it, guys. I still look at that elastic every day.
You
and I
got
go,
over it or he got over it?
We both got over it.
I think the only person who had to get over it was him.
Really? I feel like it was me.
You
It's
attacked
like
him.
He never cared about the elastic. He was like, babe,
You attacked him.
100%.
He got over you being mad at him.
gaslighting. I'm being gaslit on
Yes.
this podcast. Can't have my own emotions. So I finally get over it, and today we're sweeping the floor in the kitchen, and he goes, whose hair is this? And pulls out a long blonde hair. And I'm like, bitch.
You're like, I
what?
know who
And
all
he-
my
no,
best
he
friends
pulled-
are.
He pulled it off his cardigan. Okay? A long blonde hair. Guys, I have shoulder length hair.
No.
I'm like, babe, first elastic, now hair. And then I go, I'm ready to kill him in this moment. Like my life is flashing before my eyes. Like in a movie. Like I'm
You know what?
viewing
The
our whole
elastic was
relationship.
fine, but the long blonde hair.
And I'm going, the only person that has long blonde hair is my sister. And why is her head close enough to your cardigan? So I was ready to accuse Guns Hot. And then I go, oh, it's my long blonde ponytail.
No.
And then I throw it back on the ground. And then 2 minutes later, I go, let me just double check the thickness of this hair.
No.
That's definitely fake. Okay, we're good. We're good, guys. He's
That
not
is
cheating.
definitely synthetic.
That is definitely synthetic
Oh my
hair.
God. I was going to say maybe it was Milo when you were babysitting your sister's dog.
Yeah, the hair was this long.
Yeah. Well, listen.
He's puffy.
When you're being attacked, I think you think of anything, honestly.
If you would have pulled out Milo, I would have said you're cheating.
Who's
honestly.
Milo? I've never met
Milo?
Milo. I only met a Milo.
But it's like in that position, you can't start blaming people because then you're guilty.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. So now you went back to being normal.
So now we're good.
So now you're good. And now Veronica's like, I think it's so nice if we like start this podcast off and say like a really crazy toxic story we've done. And I'm like, I'm not proud of my toxic stories. I don't want to talk about them.
Well, I'm not proud I accused him of cheating over an elastic, but I still did it. I still said it.
I'm trying to think of something that's like I could even say on the podcast that's like not too crazy, but crazy enough for you guys to be like, okay, I've never done that.
But like
Entertaining
enough for me to listen to
Basically.
without calling the police.
This one's bad.
Ready for it?
This one's really bad.
It's in the
My
past.
ex is going, leave me alone. We broke up. I had a new girlfriend. I'm single again. Leave me alone. You're ruining my reputation. Him dating me, I honestly like, I feel bad.
I think we should send
He
him a
did
bouquet.
not win in this
He
relationship.
did not. He needs therapy, like a decompression therapy of
But
like
it's like,
talk
is there
about
going to
what
be a
happened
point
to
where I'm
you.
going to stop talking about it? Because every time I say I'm fucking done, like I'm leaving his name out or not bringing it up, I'm back here, Veronica, saying just one toxic
It's because
story.
you know what it is? When you're in a long-term relationship, the threshold of like shit that happens,
Yeah.
the longer you date, the crazier things happen.
Yeah.
Because when you're just seeing somebody, it's like the stories are crazy, but they're kind of like
surface level.
Like it's never like, it's never the crazy of 2 years dating. Like I'll pull out. You know what I mean? Like there's
It's
so much
when
baggage.
when you're with someone for like a period where you pass the surface level, you really fully allow yourself to be yourself. So like the craziest you can be, even sometimes like in the past dating him, I'd be like, yo, what I did was fucking crazy. Like I'm actually here to come up to you and say like, do you ever like say something sometimes and you're like, it comes out, and as it comes out, you're like, yo, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna apologize in the middle of doing what I'm doing. Like I'm just gonna stop here and say that was fucked up. I'm sorry.
100%.
Self-awareness.
100%.
Great.
Self-awareness. I still said it, but I'm aware.
Yeah, you're aware. So
As
like I
long.
think that makes
First
you
step.
like just like a better person, I guess.
80% good.
So we were away on a trip like 2 hours from here. So it wasn't like we were on a beach, we were happy, we were drinking, and it was just like, you know, good vibes. I was away in Quebec. Which
So you're basically home.
I actually think I would fly to be anywhere else other than here. And the one other place that would make me more miserable than Montreal is probably Quebec City. So just let that simmer in already. Like my vibes are not happy being in Quebec
100%.
City. So already there, like there's anger, you know? So we're in Quebec City and we're having a toxic, fight. Just very toxic. He had answered. Okay, so we were there. It was a couples trip. Okay, there was
Those are always the fucked up trips.
yeah, but it's because you start the relationship. Okay, we're two couples on this trip, and now the other couple, they're in La La Land. They just started talking. So at the beginning, when you go on a trip like that, at the beginning, they're like, wow, like that is a foundation, you know,
Right.
like that is what I want to be with my man that I'm just starting to talk to.
Right.
Starts off juicy, starts off peachy, and then the night goes.
And shit gets real.
Shits get fucking real. And I think if you're going on a trip with somebody and you're 4 people, if you're both like dating for like 2 years, it's chill because you know that you pass the surface level and everyone
Right.
just gets like a fight. But when you're recently talking to someone, you almost feel like your relationship is so good.
Perfect. You look at people and you go like, oh my,
like they're actually
they're gonna
crazy.
break up. Like, what the fuck?
But then you realize 2 years later, you're those
right
fucking
there.
people. You are there.
Can't agree more.
Do you know what I mean?
When you're in the honeymoon stage, you look. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people will say. I remember somebody said something to me like they were dating, and I was. So cringe. I could slap myself in the face. I was talking to my friend and he was like saying something about sex and I'm like, oh my God, like we have like sex like 3 times a day. And he was like, just wait. He's like, just wait. You have time to have sex 3 times a day? Just wait. Call me in 2 years. Let me know. And I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
They're just like not the type of
now
people.
I'm like, babe, I have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
I have a like, look, book me, babe. I'm an escort at this point. Write a date and I'll let you know if I'm free and I'm available.
So exactly.
Right.
So they're all like in honeymoon stage. We're fighting. And now
I'm picturing them looking at you guys going like,
oh, we were
like,
absolutely fucking crazy. But if you're in honeymoon stage, we were fucked up. Like,
it's because I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean?
There's no contrast like a couple that's been dating 2 years and a couple that's in honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
It's like, but babe, we'll never
and it's
do
also
that.
like
I would never do that to
when
you.
you're going on like a double date with somebody who's like, normally fights could happen and like both friends will probably see both relationships get in fights, you know?
Right.
So it's like, babe, that time when don't worry, you guys had your shtick, like, I'm not saying anything because I know what you know about me, like type of thing, you know?
Right.
There's nothing. There's only me and him in this situation. So the guy we were with that was on the double date, like his friend, got a message on his phone from a girl. And they were in honeymoon stage, I guess. So they weren't dating. It was fine. Got a message. And that girl who like wrote was like semi in my boyfriend at the time's life.
Okay.
So like she's very the type of girl where she knows we're all on this trip and she will like kind of like infiltrate herself just to remind everyone. I don't know if you like know of anyone who's like that.
100%.
Like I would never do that. Especially if I knew that like there was 4 people on a trip together, why would you like kind of just like knowing you're like opening the stories and know we're all together and you know he's on a date with a girl. Like I'm posting it.
Yeah.
Why would you like do that to the couple? It's just like mean and vicious. But she had like kind of like there was a reason for it, okay? Anyway.
And guys, by the way, will never understand
oblivious.
that.
Fucking oblivious.
Like, babe, she's just wishing me happy birthday 3 months in advance.
Yeah, so my boyfriend and his best friend, she had messaged the best friend and my boyfriend had saw and picked it up and started answering. So at first I was like, whatever, like I didn't realize. And then like he was writing something and then I was like, what are you doing? And then like he was just like, oh, nothing, erased it, deleted it, and then that was it. So I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
You're like unerased right now.
I'm like, well, what were you going to write? He's like, I was just going to write this. I'm like, well, I don't believe that that's what you were going to write. Whatever you're going to tell me you were going to say, you're lying because the second I asked to see, you fucking erased it. Why are you erasing it?
100%.
You know, and like I can't start saying to the other guy, give me your phone. I could control my man. I can't control the other phone that's going on over here. And this girl was already like, like a situation. There's always that one girl that's like
history,
yes. So it was just like annoying. And I'm in Quebec City, so just so you know, I'm already angry. So there was a couple of things, and then we started getting in a fight. And I was like, well, what did you say? It started off calm and then it just became like crazy. And then they're just there in honeymoon stage staring at us. And then it got to the point where they were like, okay, well, we're going to leave. No. So they left because we were staying in 2 different Airbnbs. So they left and we're like in this like 3-floor house, but just that was like unfinished. And just already the vibes of that place was not cozy. It was like where murderers happen. Okay. There was a lot of shit happening.
Well, at least there was a hammer nearby.
And then we're fighting. And then I'm like, I just don't see why you were answering his phone, which is a bit weird. Anyway, if you ask me. But look, I'm not coming for you anymore. We're good. It's fine. And then I was like, well, does she reach out to you? Like, because if you felt so comfortable enough to, you know, answer your friend's phone that he's writing to her, show me your DMs.
We're fucking crazy,
Yeah.
man. Girls, but you know what? Facts.
Show me your DMs.
Why are you so comfortable?
Show me your fucking DMs.
Yeah. You guys speak?
Yeah. So we got in a huge fight. He's like, okay, I'll open up the DMs. Opens her DM, and there's a conversation. Okay. And the conversation, I think, was like, hey, is everything okay? ? And this was like maybe like a couple of months before. Hey, is everything okay? He's like, yes. Why? ? She's like, just making sure. And that's all that was there of the conversation. And I know for a fact there was more conversation in the past. So I'm like, what was deleted?
Well, that's a fishy text.
Veronica.
It wasn't, hey, happy birthday, all the best.
Exactly. Which I know for a fact there was a happy birthday in the past. So why is everything deleted?
You're like, because I previously
had every fucking reason to be pissed.
Right.
And then I just like, I fucking went ape shit, okay? Like fucking ape shit. Locked myself in the room. I didn't want to talk to him. I was literally just like, oh my God. I just was freaking the fuck out. And he was trying to talk to me. And when I'm pissed, like there's no talking to me. Like, let me be by myself. And then I tried to remember what was the day that she said, hey, is everything okay? Were we fighting?
Ooh.
Did we break up for that split second? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, why is she consoling him?
Yeah.
And then that's my whole thing with her is like, if we're having an issue, why does she know our fucking issues? Mm-hmm. There was so many things. Anyways, I chalked it up to you're cheating on me. Anyway, I did the whole thing. But you know what? I have every fucking right. I still, I'm getting really angry just talking about the story again. It's just,
you know what?
You know what it is? It's just when you never get an answer to something, you always still in the back of your head are like, am I ever going to figure it out?
1,000,000%.
But now I just chalked it up to he cheated on me. And like, even if he didn't, like, that's the only thing that it could be. Does that make sense?
I mean, I think that's a really...
It's a far-fetched.
It's a jump to go he cheated on me.
For me, it's like that's considered cheating, even if there was no physical,
What? If he was talking to another girl?
Well, if he was talking to another girl and like talking about our problems.
Right.
That to me... Honestly, just fuck another bitch. That's like so much worse. I can't even explain.
I know what you mean though.
Like that's fucked up. That's like there's an emotional like.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then it's like it's them against you in a sense. You know what I mean?
Then it's just like
weird.
Anyway, there's so much about it. Anyway, so we're fighting. Then I end up going to the date. I try and remember what that date was. And then it ended up being a time where we were really in a rocky place. Like we were fucking fighting. Like we broke up. It was a little rocky. So a little
rocky sounds like
anyway,
a fucking
so now
valley.
I'm like, whoa. Now I'm like, I just went through my phone. I went through my phone. I went through the text.
You went through your own phone?
I went through my own phone. I was literally CSI in my phone. Then I realized we're fighting. Now I'm like, now I know he deleted messages. And now I know he consoled in her for like whatever. Because now she probably wrote the next day like, hey, just checking up. Like, is everything okay? Anyway, so fucked up. I literally fucking lost it. And then he felt attacked. So he was like, no. You're going to go through my phone? Show me your phone. Show me your DMs. And now it's like, you're not going through my DMs. I have nothing to hide. I never cheated on you, but you're not going through my DMs.
Okay.
So he was like, show me your phone. I didn't want to give it. It got to the point where we were literally like fucking like attacking each other. Like it was bad. And then he ends up getting my phone, okay, and locking himself in the bathroom. Okay. Tell me there's a worse fear in your life.
No.
I'm not even joking. You can be the most loyal person ever. Like when you're going to look for something, you're gonna find something. Even if somebody was like, you're pretty, and I just like hearted it or just said like, thank you. Like,
you know what I mean? There's just so much.
There's so much.
I mean, I think for me, my fear is more like,
or because at that point we had also had a moment where we broke up.
Yeah.
So like you might interpret something as like I was like doing something shady, even if I wasn't.
Yeah.
Because it was in the time slot of like us not being together.
So he's allowed to do
what?
Minorly shady shit and not you. It's fine.
Anyway, so I was like literally panicking. Like it was my worst fear ever. And I'm like, how can I, what can I do at this point? Because he has his phone and my phone, and he's locked in the bathroom, and we're in the middle of Quebec City in like this random Airbnb, and I'm like, and I'm screaming at him, I'm knocking, I'm literally coming with a chair, I'm trying to break
you look
down.
like the cheater now, by the way.
Well, yeah,
You're
but also
actually
like
the cheater in this.
but also, why do you feel the need, because you got caught in something, to have to go through mine to put us back on both equal terms?
Yeah.
No, that's fucked up. You're doing something shady.
Yeah. Did you know that April is Testicular Cancer Awareness Month?
No, I know now.
Now you know. And you know who is the perfect brand to support during testicular cancer awareness? It's Manscaped. They have a whole initiative going on for the month of April. So go check them out. As you know, we love Manscaped, and you need to get your man or yourself, if you're a man listening, ready for summer. You need that summer body and those summer balls. So get them shaved up. Get yourself a Performance Package 4.0, which is all you need this summer. Throw that in your vacation bag wherever you're going, and you're going to be fresh, sleek like a dolphin, and ready to go.
Yes. And using our discount code ChemicalX at checkout, you'll receive 20% off your first order, or your second, or your 45th, because we are so generous here on the Chemical X podcast. We want to make sure that you are not traumatizing any women this summer. So guys, Chemical X at checkout for 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com.
Next up, we have our lovely friends Isotti. They are an Italian-based, bespoke, tailor-made suit brand. You can get any beautiful suit you need for summer, whether it's for a wedding, whether it's for golf with your boys. You know, I don't know if they wear suits to golf, but I feel like they do. Whatever.
I feel like they do.
I feel like golfers wear suits. So like it still counts. You know what I mean?
Golfers, athletes,
suits,
non-athletes, people getting married.
Anybody, if you work at a car dealership, like my dealership, if you work at a call...
Okay, we can't speak today.
No. If you work at a car dealership like my boyfriend, then you also need a suit, babe. What the fuck? I didn't see you supporting us and using our discount code at isotti.com. But like I said, every man needs a nice suit that hugs him right where it doesn't hurt.
Yes, using our discount code Chemical X at checkout, you'll be able to actually introduce your man out in public and not have to hide him. So Chemical X at checkout for 20% off your man's first or 45th suit. I don't know what I have with 45, but like it needs to stop.
Is that your ideal age range?
I guess.
Yeah.
So that was my whole point in all this. And so then after all that, so we're in the middle of the fight and I'm freaking out. I'm coming with a chair. I'm like, this Airbnb is fucking gonna be to shit.
You're like, safety deposit, not getting it back.
Not happening. What do I care at that point? Oh my God, pay the whole fucking Airbnb. Pay the, you don't know. And then I'm freaking out. I'm yelling at him. And at a point, Veronica, you know what I say? Give me back my phone or I'm going to call the cops. What phone are you calling the cops with?
She's going to go to the payphone. She's going to go to the neighbors. Hey, do you mind if I borrow your phone?
At that point, he looked through all my DMs. He found something to pin
You said call the cops?
Me.
You said, okay, I know there's some juice in here.
I'm going to call the cops. And then I'm like, and he's just ignoring me, right? He's doing he's just going through my phone.
But you know what? When it's a situation like that, you're not reading. You're not seeing shit. No. You're seeing blood. You're going on email. You're doing anything.
Anyway, so as no girl would ever fucking do, I open the window at the Airbnb and start screaming, help! Help! No.
You're the cheater. Okay, no. At this point, he's going, okay.
Well, at this point, I know that I have issues, for sure. I know that I'm fucking sick. Help! And at this point, he's like, okay, nothing is worse than the cops showing up right now. And like, there's nothing that could be worse. He opened that door so fast. So guys, I'm not saying to do that. I am not saying to do that if ever that happens to you. But it's what I did. And I will take that to the grave. It worked. Was it absolutely fucked up? Yes. Do I ever want to talk about this again? No. Do I plan on being like this in my next fucking relationship? Never.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what
you I always say, like, you want to be in a relationship where you trust each other. You don't go through each other's phones. That's what I thought I was doing by saving him from just like not trying to find something that's not there.
But we always find what's not there. We always find what's not there.
I would have answered my cousin. He would have said, who is this? Like, it's just so. Yeah, that's my most toxic story.
That's your most?
All this to say, I hope he doesn't send me a nasty fucking message after I'm airing this. And also, we're actually at a good place. So I don't know now if I just fuck shit up.
I think you didn't do anything for him. I think you made him look like a saint actually in this.
Yeah. I actually made myself look like the craziest bitch alive. Yeah.
You know what's the good thing, though?
I remember him coming on being, are you fuck? Like, that's sick. Like, I've had a lot of fucked up girlfriends. You're fucking sick.
But you know what's
Phone,
the
please.
Funniest thing?
Phone, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I can really call the cops.
That was fucked up what I did. I get it. But you did.
But you know what kills me in all this is that you were in Quebec City and nobody was fucking hearing you screaming for help. That's the thing.
Nobody.
Except
your
forest.
phone at 8 a.m. coming to get me. Yeah.
That was another time.
No, that was the time.
It wasn't Quebec City.
Yeah.
I came to Ottawa. I went to Quebec City.
It was Quebec City, Veronica.
Nice.
Yeah.
Huh. Would you look at that?
Mm-hmm.
I always make my way in these stories.
Yep.
I always find the drama.
Yeah.
The drama finds me.
Anyways, let's move on from that. Just want to say me and my ex are in very good places. Hopefully still after this episode airs.
Right.
And I actually got a call from him like a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why are you calling me? Like, you have a new girlfriend. And then I didn't answer. And I was like asking my friends, like, should I call back? Like, did something happen? What should I do? And then they were like, well, I think you should because you haven't spoken in all this time. Like, maybe something, like, you don't know.
Is going on, right?
Yeah. This is like the one and only time, like, you should probably pick up the phone and call back and just say, like, what's up? Mm. And that phone call was actually really good for the both of us. It was, how do I say it? It just was like...
Closure?
I guess... We never really got the closure, but it was just like nice to know that we were hating each other all this. Well, I wasn't hating him, but he had so much anger towards me with so many things. It was just kind of like nice to know that if I do see him now, it's just like, hi, bye. There's no like bad blood. And we just like laughed off a lot of things that have happened and we're just like good now. There's no like, it's not like, you know, maybe he was calling for a different intention and then I was just like I put it to bed like right away. And I think, you know, it's just nice to know that we're good now.
I think it's a time thing too. I think right away when you break up with somebody, you can never be on talking terms. You're always, somebody's going to have residual like hate. There's always going to be like shit going on. And I think like after, I don't know how long you guys are broken up.
After I got on Barstools, makes sense. I'd be getting a call for sure.
For sure, yeah, Barstools. I just think after like 6 months or whatever it was, it's like you don't have that. It's almost like the wait 24 hours before you respond to a text vibe. Wait 6 months before you call your ex. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because
don't call them, honestly.
No, but if you're gonna have closure, I think it's good. I think it's good to have that conversation.
I think it's just nice to know that like, I'm sorry I said shit on the podcast that bothered you and I'm still going to do it. So I hope that you're still going to be okay with that. And I hope all is well. And I wish you nothing but luck in the next relationship you get into in 2 weeks. If you're listening, we're good. We're good. Naturally, when Veronica and I found out like who his new girl was, obviously, guys, fuck off if you've never done this. You've definitely stalked the ex.
Yeah.
I did.
Also, if you're gonna be a new girl, unprivate your profile.
Yeah, like
just let us see.
Just come on. Like,
do you know what I mean though? Like,
just show us. Show us. Don't be annoying. Don't make me fucking use my fake account to follow you. I was like at this state where I was like, I want to see what she looks like. But I already, like, he had posted on his story, so I had an idea. Mm-hmm. But I just want to have fun, eat popcorn, and just, like, really investigate.
Let me do it.
But I wasn't at that stage where I was like, I'm going to get a fake account to do it. Like, I wanted the page to just be opened.
Open up your pages.
Yeah. Like,
I'm an open book. Any ex of mine can go look.
I gave her so much.
So much.
I gave her so much content. The littlest thing she could do for me is...
Unprivate the profile.
I
think it's a bit disrespectful.
I honestly think like I might message her and be like,
hey babe, next time you want to date my ex,
I'll tell you when now she's unopened, then it's when they're no longer together. It's useless to me now.
Yeah.
You're not helping me in any way. I wanted to see when you guys were dating. Now I don't care.
I have no juice left.
Anyway, so naturally Veronica and I were like stalking. We were just doing what any fucking girl would do. Mm-hmm. And because she was private, I think like I Googled her. I don't know what I did. And I came across like a podcast. So I was like, wait a second. Does she have a podcast? Veronica, take it from here.
There was one thing that your ex didn't want in his next relationship.
He literally said, I want any fucking girl other than my girl. Ex.
But it's just like, there's one thing he didn't want, and it was another bitch with a podcast.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, when we found out she had a podcast, I was just like, you know what? If I was him, I would be like, come on. Like, no. Another girl and her best friend. Like, I would have been like, I can't imagine, because I'm assuming he didn't know. Obviously, he don't know, right?
So actually, when we had that conversation of Closer, he literally was like, I literally woke up at her house and I saw a neon sign and I was like, what is this? He's like, well, we do a podcast. He's like, oh, I think he's like, I woke up. I was like, not another girl with a podcast.
That's some shit that would happen to me. Like,
yeah,
that's just the funniest. You think you're done with something. You think like, you know what? I figured out what I don't want. And then it just comes right back at you.
I feel like that was like a crazy sign for him. Like, you think you're going to run away from me really quick? Well, I have news. There's something coming on the corner and it's another girl who's going to fucking air your laundry.
So I remember when I found out she had a podcast, I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I never actually like went,
so I tried to listen for like 10 minutes, one episode. Cause I think they gave up on the podcast. So I was just like watching and I was just listening to a couple. I didn't listen to more than 10 minutes because I could not know for the life of me who was who.
Right.
I didn't know who was the best friend and who was the one dating my ex-boyfriend. Like, and then every time I think I have a grip on it, I'm like, wait, is it the other one? And then you just told me you watched 2 episodes.
So, okay, wait. So listen. So
who dated him?
At first, well, that's what. First of all, if I found out that my ex was dating a girl with a podcast, I would be like,
well, because naturally we're competitors now.
No, but
even if I didn't want to be a competitor with you,
but like if I didn't have a podcast and I found out that like that's like content, like I'm fine. Like I would be like, this isn't like I could find out everything I want to know from you.
Yes, but also it would have really been good if she was still kind of doing it while she was talking to him, like what she has on me.
That's what I'm saying.
She didn't have that.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's just like getting to know who she was before she dated it.
Right.
Like,
but I'm
boring.
saying if I would date, if I would find out my boyfriend's ex had a podcast, that would be like juicy. You know what I mean? Like my ex had a new girl. Anyways, so I just thought that would be so juicy. But I just like saw she had a podcast. I was like, oh my God, what are the chances?
About it for like an hour.
That's like, just what are the chances of that happening? And then they were dating, whatever. I didn't really care because, you know, it's not for me. Like, it's not like I don't really care.
Well, no, we didn't care. We were just laughing.
I'm saying like I wasn't like invested in it. And then when they like kind of ended it, I don't know why. I went back and I was like, let me just see this
like
podcast.
Recently.
Yeah, I was like, let me just see. Like they were broken up. I'm like, let me see what I'm working with here. Like, just out of curiosity. So I put it on in the car and I'm like listening, and I'm like, not bad. Like I'm listening. I'm like, okay, like decent. But then I'm going like you. I'm like, I don't even know who to listen to right now, and I don't know who's who. And I saw like their like last one, which was like a January one, which is at the beginning of the year, right? So I was like, this is gonna be like, I was like, maybe there's gonna be like juice in here. Like I'm so excited to listen. And I realized, guys, after listening to the whole 2 episodes, because I'm trying to figure out, is the guy she talking about? I'm trying to put all the connections together. I find out it's January 2020. I'm like, I just did all this research. And I went, well, what are you going to do? And I realized they stopped the podcast before they even started dating. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It could have been fun.
But wow, Veronica, like you watched 2 episodes. That's impressive.
I
couldn't get through more than like 10 or 14 minutes. I was like,
throw your shade.
No, it's actually no shade. I think they speak way better than us on this podcast. Trust me, I'll give the points where I think they belong. There's a lot of things that were better. I didn't know what to, like, I don't know. I can't explain it.
I know what you mean.
Because I didn't know who was who. It was just becoming useless to me.
Yeah, for sure. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
What do you think is the protocol when it comes to speaking to your ex or like an ex talking to you? Like, how do you feel about an ex messaging you or something like that? Because I have a view on it, so I want to know what you think. Like, what's your limits? What's your boundaries?
My boundaries are... I think for me now, it's just like, don't call me, don't text me. I don't care if you wish me a happy birthday and we do that,
Yeah.
that's fine because I'm single now. But if
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship, I'm probably not wishing you a happy birthday anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really giving the basics so people could really understand. If somebody in your family dies or vice versa, like I think like that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I answered the phone call just because I was like, what happened? Did something happen? He even said like, I would love if we stayed friends, if we still like communicated. And I was like, this is the last phone call we're ever going to have. I'm so happy that we're both at peace. We had our conversation, but I won't be answering anymore. Like there's no reason for it. It's not right to any single person I would be talking to moving forward. I don't think it's right to have that baggage with you.
And there's also no gain.
There's no
either.
gain. There's no reason for any of it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think, no, it's done. There's nothing to talk about anymore.
Yeah, totally agree. And like on my point, like I have no problem with, first of all, I don't talk to any of my exes. Like,
But like now
there's-
we're good if we see each other in public.
Right.
Like, hi, how are you?
for sure, because you guys have friends in common.
Yes.
Like, so for me, it's like I have certain exes that are so far beyond out of my life that I wouldn't even like, it's not even to the point of like to wish them happy birthday because it's like I haven't seen you in 6 years.
Yeah.
We have no friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's
But it's also a
literally nothing
timing
there.
thing, right? Like I think 6 months to a year,
Yeah.
the rules are a little bit different
No,
than
for
like
sure.
2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. And then I have like another ex who it was like more of like a rocky relationship. So for us, like even though we're technically on good terms, they're also not like, he's also not the person that I would be like happy birthday or
Right.
something like that. You know, like I'm pretty sure like he got a girlfriend, like blocked me. And see, like I don't care. I know if you have a girl, like if one of my exes has a girlfriend, like I would never like write back to your stories or
Right.
something like that. Like I understand that boundary.
Yeah, same.
And then another thing is like sometimes there's people who are like your friends, and like I have a lot of people that I was friends with, and then we like we're seeing each other, and then like we stopped seeing each other, and then we like stayed
Yeah.
friends and stuff. So I feel like that's more of like a blurry line of what's okay, what's not okay.
true.
You know what I mean? Like there's
Like
certain
if I
people,
hooked up with a guy once, but now like I'm dating my boyfriend, am I allowed
Yeah.
to wish him a happy birthday?
See, that's so for me, the way I see it is I have no problem like, and this goes for my, like anything I say for myself goes for my boyfriend too. So if I was like talking to somebody and like we were hooking up and we had a fling and then we just stayed friends and there was nothing, you know, and
Yeah.
obviously there was nothing there. We didn't date, nothing happened. I'll text you every once in a while, like if I'm seeing something on your story, like, oh my God, where is this? Or like happy birthday, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
as I would any other friend.
As long as your partner already like kind of ish knows like that
situation.
puts to rest the situation. I feel like if they know, if
Yeah.
you're not being secretive about it, then it's fine. They know
And
that
if you're not-
you had a thing or
Right.
whatever, and it's fine. Then
So I think there's a difference between like looking for conversation and just write. Like there's one thing to be like, happy birthday, all the best. That's like respectful.
Yeah.
There's a different thing between like, happy birthday, how's your family?
Yes.
Tell your mom I say hi. Like I think those things are like disrespectful in
That's
that
like
sense. Like
so
now you're
disrespectful.
being disrespectful, and I'm really aware of like the limitations of like
Mm-hmm.
what's respectful, what's not respectful. For example, I have one guy who's like kind of my ex, and it's so funny because every year on my birthday he'll write to me and he'll be like, happy birthday, like hope everything's good with you, and every year on his birthday I'll message him as well.
Yeah.
And it's very like, I'll be like, are you still living here, or like how's everything, and he just won't answer me, and I'm just like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
he has no interest in, and that's what I'm like, that's so respectful. Like you're
Yeah.
messaging me, you know I have a boyfriend, you're literally just doing it out of like, you're a person I care about.
Yes.
Happy birthday. We don't need to have a conversation.
Wow.
So I think that's like a noble thing. Like I'll try to be friendly because it's like you're messaging me. So I'm like, hope everything's good. Like, are you still in school? And he just won't answer me. I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad. Like
Yeah.
you're actually so respectful to not respond
Yeah.
to me. It's like, and I'm not even looking for a conversation. It's just more like,
But I feel like if everyone was like that, there would be so many less cheaters in this world.
yeah.
Because if everyone just stayed in their lane and just weren't, it's so stupid to even say what I'm saying, because it's like if a guy wants to cheat, he would cheat. If a girl wants to cheat, like they'll find a way. But I think if everybody actually had a lot of the same morals and respect towards each person, and
Yeah.
to know that like you're doing that, you're cheating on somebody, then you know that could be you in the situation,
Right.
that you feel for the person, I think there would be so much less shade.
For sure.
You know?
And I just think people have to be like, you just have to be logical. Like with my boyfriend, I'm like, he has you know, whoever he dated, whoever we saw, I have no problem with you talking to them, or like if you're writing to happy birthday, like that's, I don't care. But if it's somebody who's like problematic, like clearly showing that they don't respect this relationship, I feel like that draws the line. You shouldn't be interacting with this person. You know what I mean? Because this is somebody who, it's not happy birthday. It's like always trying for more. You know what I mean? And you should know that. I'm very aware of that too. When people try to push my boundaries, I just won't answer you, because it's like, you know, I have a boyfriend. Don't take it there.
Yeah, for sure. What I know, even when I started dating my ex-boyfriend, he had got a message from...
I'm screaming.
No.
That's the guy who messages me every year on my birthday.
Oh my God, Greg.
He's also the person that sent me flowers on my birthday when I was in bed with him.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? You cannot...
But he's super sweet.
But you cannot make that shit up. Honestly, you should probably thank him, because he probably bloomed your relationship.
100%.
You basically said, just so you know, I have options. Like, so you better act quick, because I'm a hot commodity.
But
that's amazing. And you know what? Now that I think about that, I would do that even if I was single. Just like send shots to my table, like just so he knows I have options.
But it's the funniest thing with that person, because I think it's hilarious, because he lives into an entirely different country. So there's no even possible way to even try to have something, because we're fucking countries away. It's just like, you're so nice, like, you know what I mean? And it's so like, there's so much boundaries. And obviously he didn't, when he sent me flowers, he did not know that I was talking to somebody. We weren't even dating at the time. But it's just funny. And I think, anyways, that's how I see the boundary. It's like, what I wanted to say was, when I had started dating my ex-boyfriend, he was like getting messages from his ex-girlfriend, and you know, the happy birthdays, like I said, I was fine with. I think when it started being like, what was the radio station we used to listen to together, it's like shit like that just like turned me off. And like, I don't blame her, because like she's trying, and girls are guys. If you're single, you're never to blame. Like you can do what you want. I think it's all how the man or woman takes it from there. And I think you need to have enough respect for the person to be like, I'm not gonna answer, because the second you answer and you kind of like give into that, you're showing that you don't have respect for me either. You know, exactly.
She has no reason to give respect to me, but you do.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. And so like I said, it just depends person to person. You know, if it's somebody who respects your relationship, and you can obviously tell as a person, you know who respects your relationship and you know who doesn't. Yeah. I think that's the boundary for me. You could, and I also think like, I'm not buddy with anybody that I've hooked up with or like dated. Like I have no relationship with any of those people apart from friends, and I wouldn't push it more than that. You could just tell. Like, I remember my boyfriend's ex at one point when we were dating was like sending him like Snapchat memories of when they were together. And I was like, that is the shadiest fucking shit that you could do. You know what I mean? Because that's just blatantly saying, hey, remember when we dated? It's like, and you know, he has,
but it's also saying like, don't forget about all the memories we had together. It's very manipulative. It's very toxic. And it's just like, not what we're about on this podcast.
Like I would,
we just open up the windows and we scream for help when somebody has our phone in the bathroom.
And we just put a gun to our boyfriend's head if we find an elastic on the floor. That's all.
Oh, before we end this podcast, I have to tell you, because it's just the funniest thing, is that now that I'm like super close with Mitko again, which you guys know, you know that there was like a huge beef when I was dating my ex-boyfriend. They didn't get along, and that was like a whole situation. And I think it's just so funny now that I'm like, you know, chilling a lot with him, and he has a place in Old Port, and guess who lives in that same building? My ex-boyfriend's cousin. So
what are the chances though?
What are the chances? And it's like when that whole fight situation happened, like he was there. So it's really like my ex was involved. He was involved too. So it's like every time I have to go see him, I have to stress and worry like, how's this gonna play out?
Like, am I taking the elevator with my ex-boyfriend's cousin?
Like, I don't need this vibes. Like, hi, bye. I know it's like we're immature to say like, it's just even the highs and byes could be fucking awkward. Like, did you need to have a place in the same building in Old Port?
Like can you move?
Can you move?
For me, accommodate me.
I know they just got a dog, and I bumped into him like maybe 6 times, and I'm just like, okay, it's enough. It's enough. I'm putting boundaries now. Like, it's enough.
Stop fucking walking your dog between the hours of 2 and 5 p.m.
It's starting to be like, I'm seeing you more than I ever saw my ex-boyfriend. Like, what's going on? And it's so awkward. And I remember like the last time we were walking out of the building and he had made like cutlets for his brother's friend to pick up. So we had already walked out. We're holding a big tray and he's giving his brother's friend the tray of cutlets. And then we turn and there's so much going on. And then there's like a dog that like jumps on me. I look up. It's him. I'm just like, didn't know him before he had a dog. So now I'm like, do I make a comment that like he has a dog? You got a dog? Like everything was so awkward. I'm just like, hi. And then I'm like walking. And you know when you just like leave and you're so like, everything's happening so quick. Also, the guy who we were giving the cutlets to was also somebody I made out with. So there was a lot going on. So it's like, oh my God, him. And we turn and then the cousin's there. The dog's jumping on me. And I'm just like, hi, what's up? It's awkward. I'm like walking and I'm like on the same, like Mitko's getting in his car and I'm just like on the same side as him. He's like, do you want to sit on my lap? Do you want to sit on my lap?
Well, honestly, I'm
you
just
know that
glad.
feeling where you just like, you don't even know where you're going. You're just like, get me out
Put me
of
in
the
the trunk.
situation. Like, get me out. It's always like awkward.
Well, I'm just really glad that you're finally getting what you deserve because I had to deal with it for 6 months at the gym and pull the same awkward, I'm getting out of my car, running into your ex.
Yeah.
And that was in the juice of the time. Like, you got this easy peasy. Fucking say hello to him, bitch.
There's just,
I had to deal with it.
It's just like every time I go in, I'm like,
It's
even if we're good and it's high bye, it's still
there's
like,
just, it's awkward. There's nothing to talk about. There's no like, it's not somebody you want to run into.
no. And especially since every time I'm with Mirko, there's beef with like I think that's what it is even more. It's awkward because when the fight was happening, like the guy was involved in it. So it's like, there's so much about it that's like cringe. And I just found out from a story that they're finally moving to a house. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Like these dog little meetups are not going to happen anymore. Thank God. Thank fucking God. I'm just done. I'm done. Like, I need to get the fuck out of this city. I just can't.
Yeah, maybe next stop, Quebec
And that
City.
same day, by the way, the cutlet story, everything, we're going out at night. So I'm back at his place. We're going out. We're in our heels. And boom, who's walking his dog again? I'm just like, I can't do it. And then I'm there with my friend who hooked up with him. So it's just like, it's so much. It's too much for me. I just can't anymore. I'm like, and she's blind, okay? She's like, Alessia, who is that? I'm like, just forget it. Just forget it. Who is that? Actually, somebody you slept with. Do you want to know who it is? Somebody you slept with.
I mean, I'm sure he feels the same. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm sure
no,
he's like,
for
why
sure.
the fuck is this bitch always here?
Especially that you don't live here. Get the fuck out.
Oh, if I was him, I would be like, leave.
Like, do you have anything better to do?
Like, are you sure? Is he allowed this many guests? Like, isn't there a sign-in sheet? Like, this girl's not allowed in the building anymore.
It's so crazy. Anyway, whatever.
Exes, man.
I just want to know the day that Mirko falls asleep and I need to get in. Who do I text? What are the boundaries again with text messaging a cousin? How does that work?
Is that allowed?
Is that allowed? Like, I swear, like, there's nothing there. Like, but I need to get through the door.
Honestly, I would just go home at that point.
Absolutely.
I would never do the text.
But what happens when your keys are in his place?
Break the window.
Okay.
Well, you're familiar with windows.
I am familiar with that. You know what? I'll just scream, actually. I'll just say
Help!
I'll just say help. No need for a chair to break in. No need for anything. Just help. And police are on their way. Okay. Well, I feel like there has never been a podcast where I aired out more of my dirty laundry, even though I don't know what my underwears look like. But we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, don't forget to leave us a comment, rate us 5 stars. And also, we never really say this one, but tell your friends about us.
Don't tell your ex about us, but tell your friends. Thank you so much, guys. Love you and see you next week.